I think we all got caught up too much in the Aja Wilson versus Caitlin Clark debates and like them being the two best players in the world and all this stuff and we kind of forgot about who I fully believe. I've watched enough of the Lynx this year. I've watched enough of these teams play, and I've watched enough of the Aces to come to this point. We've got the best player in the world, Napheesa Collier, right here. She is the best player in the world. And let me explain why. Is she the MVP of the season? I don't know. But she's the best player in the world. If we talk about the totality of basketball, there is no better female basketball player in the world than Napheesa Collier. So, Phee Collier in the playoffs. Do you want to guess what she averaged in the first round? Napheesa Collier put up 42 points yesterday. 42. And it's not like the 42 points was a fluke or anything. You can see here, the team scored a bunch of points. And the thing is, the Lynx are so good. But she had 42 points on 20 shots. She had 42 on 20. The game before, she had 38 on 19 shots. Yeah, she shoots a lot of free throws, but her all-around basketball game is what I think separates her. If we want to look at Aja Wilson, she's unbelievable, but there is a reason why on-off numbers state that the Aces aren't necessarily that much. I don't think people saying they're better without her. It's statistically yes, but look, if she's not there, they don't win a championship. They don't they're better because Aja Wilson's on the team. But the reason the on-off numbers are so drastic is that when Aja Wilson's on the floor, Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum play worse. Because Aja is a black hole. For lack of a better word, she is a black hole. When she touches the ball, it is going up. Aja Wilson is a complete black hole on the court. And she's a good enough scorer that it's okay to be a black hole. But she's Joel Embiid. A lot of people are calling her Tim Duncan. Where the hell are you getting Tim Duncan from? Tim Duncan never shot the ball nearly as much as Aja Wilson did. Tim Duncan was not a black hole. People are saying, oh, Tim Duncan because she's boring. No, she's Joel Embiid. She is the Joel Embiid. She is that individual dominant player who needs everything ran through her to be effective, which is fine. If you want to argue Age is the best in the world, that's fine. But for me, the reason why I think Phee Collier is the best player I've seen is that she can give you 30 points in the flow of an offense. When she gives you 30 points, it doesn't take away. If Aja scores 40 points, I've seen them lose to the Wings when she scored 40 because it took away from Kelsey Plum, it took away from Jackie Young, it took away from other players. The difference is with Phee Collier is, she's not going to give you 27 points a game, but she'll give you 24 points a game a lot of the time. I know she averaged 20 on the season, but she'll give you 24 points most games and not take anything away from your team. But also, she'll have games where she'll give you 8 points and do all the other little things. She'll pass, she'll cut. Everything's within the flow of an offense. So there's times where she's going to give you 40. There's times she's going to give you 30, high 20s. But even when she's not giving you 30, she can be a super effective player. The problem is with Aja Wilson, who does score more points, is that if Aja's not giving you 30, or if Aja's shooting badly, she's still going to shoot her way out of a game. Aja Wilson took 28 shots against the Sky for 20 points. She took 28 shots for 27 against the Fever. And that first game, the Fever versus the one where Caitlin Clark had 16 on 22 shots, it was literally Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark trying to shoot their team out of games. And everyone's like, oh, Aja dominated. She had 13 boards. Yeah, because no one else in the team goes for defensive rebounds. The Fever don't go for offensive rebounds. The ball lands in her hands. She played enough minutes and the Fever missed enough shots. You're going to get rebounds. But if you look at, say, the Minnesota Lynx team, who put up 100 twice against the Mercury, you're looking at this team and you're like Bridget Carlton 3 of 4, Alana Smith 5 of 9, Kayla McBride 6 of 14, Courtney Williams 4 of 11, and their whole starting five were in double digits. And it's just the way they play basketball. It's team basketball, and the fact that she can give you 40 in a team setting without taking away from her the other players. 12 for Bridget Carlton, Alana Smith 7, Courtney Williams 9, Kayla McBride 20, but Maisha Hines-Allen came in with 10. You've got like this team that play beautiful basketball, like they play perfect basketball, and you have got a player that can do everything. She can do everything. She can guard 1 through 5. She passes the ball well. She can handle it well for a big. She rebounds extremely well for an undersized 6'1" big. Just everything about the sport of basketball she does, and she does it within an offense. She does it all within an offense. I think you can make the argument that if you offered the Aces, the Phee Collier for A'ja Wilson, they would say no. They obviously would say no. But if you offered the Lynx, A'ja Wilson for Phee Collier, the Lynx would say no. Because the Lynx are the most dangerous team in basketball. And without Phee Collier, they're not. The Aces without A'ja are better than the Lynx without Phee. I still think they're both decent playoff teams. I think the Aces without A'ja are still would have been the 5th seed. And I think the Lynx without Phee probably are in and around the same wins. But adding both of those to the team suddenly turns the Lynx into the best team in the W. And I'm sorry, I know they won games. The Aces are not the best team in the WNBA. Like, the Seattle Storm sucked, and they nearly lost both games. What Napheesa Collier did was unheard of. She just averaged 40 points per game in a series. I know it was a best-of-2 series, but it wasn't like she had a 50-point game. She had 40 and 38. Or 42 and 38. She missed a free throw as well. That's the worst part about it, is I think the record is 42, and I think she tied the record in for points. I'm not sure if it's playoffs, or playoffs first round, or in an elimination game, but there was some record that she missed a free throw at the end to break. But, yeah. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys on the side of A'ja Wilson is the best? Because it is just what people say, I guess. People all just say, oh, A'ja Wilson is, like, she's the best because, well, she's A'ja Wilson. Look at her stats, look at her stats, look at her stats. I've watched all the games. Like, maybe it's a preference thing. I think it is close enough that you can have a preference. But I think we all got so bogged down in, like, I've been arguing MVP for a while. I was like, it shouldn't be unanimous. Phee Collier should get a few votes. And I do think over the course of the season, especially just because of the sheer numbers, you do have to reward record-breaking statistics. But if you're asking me who to start a franchise with, it's a very tight. It depends on who your coach is. If you had Cheryl Reeve and you knew you were going to have Bridget Carlton, Alana Smith, Kayla McBride, and Courtney Williams on your team, I would say start the franchise with Phee. If you're going to have certain players, I would say start it with A'ja. Certain players, I would say start it with Caitlin Clark. But those three are, in my opinion, the 3 best in the world. But I do think right now, for me, if you're asking me who I think is the best, it's her. I think you can argue Caitlin won, but I think the real argument is these two. And I think when the Minnesota Lynx win this championship playing team basketball and she wins finals MVP and also winning the Commissioner's Cup this year like they did, I think people will start to realize it then.